The Apple TV and MLS streaming deal has been widely debated on if it is actually helping MLS or hurting the league from growing. So today I thought I would bring on my friend Fabian Rankel to talk about how this deal is panning out for the league. Is it helping the league? Is it growing? Is it stalling? We are going to get into all of that today. Before we get into that, make sure you like this video down below. Let's try to hit 200 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the FIFA Club World Cup this summer. So subscribe if you haven't already, and also hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video. Now, on to the video. Welcome back. We have my friend Fabian Rankel to talk about Apple TV and MLS today because there has been a new promotion strategy to try to get more people to watch. But before we get into that, Favi, how are we doing today?
We're doing well. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a little bit of a break. I mean, we've both been very busy. So it's awesome to finally, recoup and get back together and excited to hear what you have to say about this Apple TV deal, because I feel like we always have good takes on this. So I'm excited to see what you think, and I think we both have a good pulse of what people want. So this is a good one.
Well, so just to get into it, right? If you guys don't know, Apple TV MLS have a deal, 10 years, $2.5 billion. There's also a clause that if MLS hits a certain amount of subscriptions, they get a cut of the subscription. They split it with Apple TV at that point. And this deal has been very controversial, to say the least, right? A lot of people either love it or hate it, but very, very down the middle. And it looks like there's been a struggle because of numbers, certain things that have happened, to where you would believe, Favi, that it's not doing very well because of no numbers being reported, new strategy when it comes to promotion. But before we get into some of the details, what they're changing, it's 2025. This is the third full year of Apple TV. What is your thoughts so far about it so far?
Yeah, they're really promoting Onside. They're really promoting that show on every single stream. The pluses that I've seen happen is I've seen if a game finishes, it takes you into another game. So that's something we've been asking for the last 2 years, where if your stream ends, just put it on the other game. Don't make me have to back out and then back into another game. So I saw that it did that last week for I think the early game. I forgot what the early game was, but it went straight into the second early game, which is perfect. You want to bring all your viewership into the next game because that makes your numbers look better, then rather than having people leave and maybe not watch the next game or just leave it on, right? So personally, that's a great move. I like the Sunday night soccers. I think they're great. One tough thing about it is, how do you get people interested when it's not Miami? We saw San Diego versus Austin, which I thought was a good matchup, but again, it wasn't it wasn't Inter Miami, it wasn't LAFC, it wasn't the Galaxy. So how do you get the normal person to watch? Tough, but I think they're going in the right direction with Sunday Night Soccer. But overall, I think the changes to Apple TV this year have been better. Are they good enough? That's the question to be asked.
Well, I want to talk more about that in a second. But one thing that we've seen is that they have, so the first year, 2023, they had it on T-Mobile subscribers or customers get it for free. There was some other partnership, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they were really trying to get as many people tuned in as possible. Then last year, polar opposite, 2024, no T-Mobile deal, no any other type of deal, no giveaway to any content creators. Like essentially they wanted everybody who wanted to watch it to pay for it. Well, makes sense, but like no promotion at all, right? And it seemed like the numbers were kind of bad because that, like we saw the MLS Cup numbers weren't very good. I think it was like maybe 500, 600,000 people watched your MLS Cup final. Now we didn't have the Apple TV numbers set. That was Fox, I think. Maybe there was a report with some Apple numbers too that they were able to get a hold of, right? But this year completely different. T-Mobile, DraftKings $5 bet gets you the whole season for free. I think it's a $5 bet on
Soccer.
What is it? Soccer. Yeah. Any soccer bet gets you like MLS season pass for free. So they're really trying to push it out as much as they can. Also, I think you can buy MLS season pass on DirecTV now. You can buy it on Xfinity now. So there's a lot more changes that make it to where people who, if they don't have um, Apple TV, can still watch all the games. But man, is it enough? Is it too late? I mean, this is something probably should have done in year one or at least in year two.
Yeah, look, I think the year one and year two numbers maybe were inflated by Messi's start, and I think they kind of took an approach to year two in a way that they shouldn't have, because instead of, maybe they thought that these numbers weren't that inflated by Messi, that these customers are going to come back. But to be honest, legal streaming is as high as ever. I mean, if you look at the NBA's numbers, they're dropping, they're plummeting. And I can tell you that for a fact, that people are just streaming the games illegally if they're watching the NBA. So I think they undervalued illegal streams too much. If you price your I think your paywall a little too high, you're just pushing the younger generation and the more, I would say, tech savvy generation away from watching your streams the right way. They're just going to go to an illegal stream base. But I like the $5 bet with free MLS season pass, because that kind of gets those people back in to watch it, legally. But yeah, I think it might be a little too late, because we're, what week are we in? Week 5, right? Week 6.
Week 6 this
Yeah,
week.
week 6. And has there been any buzz? I mean, like, does it feel like there's new MLS fans? No. And I hate to say it, but this is something where you don't even know what game's happening this weekend, right? Like, I don't see a single ad like, who's playing this weekend. I know Miami's back, but who are they against? So
Also, playing games during the international break is not a good idea, because then everybody's. I was more focused on. I mean, I watched MLS games, but I was more focused on the U.S. men's national team this past week, and and look, this discussion isn't about being a hater or because a lot of people just can't take any criticism, and they just they crash out and get upset when you talk anything negative, right? But this is an honest discussion to have, man, because we want to correct things, make it better. And if we lie to ourselves and tell each other that everything's perfect and peachy and nothing's wrong, then nothing's going to get fixed, right? So many people call me, text me, tell me that, like, man, I think the production is great on Apple TV. It looks really good, like way better than ESPN Plus. Nobody would debate that. Okay. Nobody. Comment section. Let me know down below. Did you think ESPN Plus was better or Apple TV? I think we know which one you liked better. But it's about promotion, man. And there was a report last week, Fabi, because I don't know about yourself, but I watched Severance, really good show on Apple TV, probably the best show on TV right now. And they were saying that Apple TV currently loses $1 billion a year. $1 billion a year. And it's the least subscribed to major streaming service. Only like 25 to 30 million subscribers to Apple TV in the United States. I think. Yeah, I think North America. So, and Netflix has got like 30 million subscribers, 140 million subscribers. So you're on a streaming service that's not big to begin with a product that is very niche at the moment, which we want to bigger than what it is, but it just feels like the only way it would have really catapulted, skyrocketed, and as far as interest in the average fan is if Apple just put all their chips on the table and really promoted the hell out of this. I'm talking Apple TV, or I'm talking Messi holding iPhones. Just stuff like anytime that, there's a new commercial with a new product with an AirPods or iPhone or MacBook, having by the way, MLS season pass or MLS season starts this, nothing like that. And that's a small thing. It's nothing crazy.
Well, the new AirPods came out, and Pedro Pascal was the main person. And it's just like, why? When you have Messi playing in MLS, when you can easily do a cross promotion of maybe Messi wearing AirPods in the locker room while Benjamin Kramaski's throwing a towel on him. It literally, to me, it really sounds too easy, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. I've expected Apple to do a lot more than they've done. But you know what they did do well was, football ends here and football starts now, and they had Messi kicking they did the Super Bowl ad very well, and there was a lot of excitement going into the season. But we're in week 6 now, a month in, and it's already kind of like
it's died down, man. No, I can tell it's died down. And Let's talk about the Sunday night soccer, right? Good idea. Something that we've talked about too. Make a primetime game. Don't have every
Yeah.
game be the same. Have a primetime matchup. NFL has Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night football, right? But the problem is they're trying to prop up teams that just aren't good. And look, a team can be good or bad from year to year. Like, I'm not saying if you're bad this year, you're gonna be bad forever. That's not what I'm saying. But like, let's just use. I'm not trying to, Houston Dynamos. I'm not trying to, catch a stray here or anything, or have them catch a stray. But like, they're not good this year, right? Or no, let's do Sporting Kansas City. They're just really bad. They haven't won a game since September. Okay, nobody's wanting to watch Sporting Kansas City play the Seattle Sounders or Houston Dynamo on a Sunday night soccer game. What you would want to see, Favi, is if a bad team has to play, right? If a bad team has to play, you would want them to play a Galaxy, an LAFC, an Inter Miami. Like, that's what you want. You want big matchups between good teams, both teams being good, or a good team versus a bad team. Nobody is tuning in to watch two bad teams play. That's just not happening. I don't think you're tuning in for that. If Sporting Kansas City is playing Houston on a Sunday night, I'm not watching that.
No, and I think they've done a good job of choosing the games. I mean, it's been Miami almost every weekend. Just Messi hasn't been playing.
San Diego's got a lot of games. I don't even think LAFC's had a Sunday night game this year.
Yeah, LAFC hasn't, which is a weird one so far, in my opinion. I think they were expecting maybe Griezmann or something, because not having LAFC at the beginning of the year for Sunday Night Soccer is a weird move. And I personally think that maybe if they're on it, they're going to be in the later half of the season and expecting Griezmann to be playing, right? So, or at least after the summer window. But this week, yeah. Well, for example, this week I don't even know who the Sunday Night Soccer is, right? So maybe that's me not doing my best job, watching the whole stream through, But again,
see, this is who it is, Bobby. Portland and Houston.
Yeah.
Who's watching that? And here's another thing too, man. Like, if you're gonna have a bad game, why not make it a rivalry game?
Right.
Why not make it there's something at stake, right? This is what I'll say too about this whole situation. If there's not a Sunday night soccer match of El Tráfico, they're doing something wrong. That has
100%.
got to be at least one Sunday night soccer matchup, LA Galaxy versus LAFC.
Or like the July 4th, like a special primetime Sunday night soccer on 4th of July. Like, that needs to be El Tráfico at the Rose Bowl. Like, that needs to, it's no question. But yeah, why is Houston twice on Sunday night soccer?
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make any. They're trying to prop up bad teams, which they didn't know they were going to be bad. But like,
I mean,
let's be honest. But they're not big markets. They're not like LAFC, LA Galaxy, Inter Miami, and
I mean, we knew Houston was going to be bad since Hector Herrera left last year, right? Like, I think Coco left. Like,
well, and I'm cool with them playing if they're playing a big, like if they were playing LAFC, that'd be a lot better, right? Or Galaxy, if the Galaxy was healthy, or Miami, or New York City FC, something like that. I'm cool with. But Portland hasn't been good. Haven't been good in a while, and then Houston's not good.
Maybe they need to flex the games, and I think
that's another suggestion I've had. Flex it.
I think this needs to be something. Columbus or Evander scored 2 goals. Whoever Cincinnati's playing, why not just flex them to the Sunday night soccer? Like, seriously, you could do it. I mean, you need to have your stars be in Sunday night soccer. This needs to be like I like the Timbers. I really liked them last year. They had superstars, they had firepower, they had goals, but to try to get the fan base to watch in week 6, you need to have guys like your superstars in the league. I mean, Cucho left, Ricky Puig is injured, Messi might not be playing. Who's left? Evander. It needs to be on Evander. Like, this is why this whole kind of Sunday night soccer, in my opinion, hasn't worked yet, because it's more choosing teams than superstars. And the American audience loves their superstars more than their teams, in my opinion. And I think if you really take a look at the NBA, wherever LeBron goes, people want to watch. Okay? So wherever Kevin Durant goes, people are going to watch. So I think soccer in MLS should be following maybe Evander a little bit more right now to kind of carry the load while Messi gets back to playing, personally.
Well, and here's another thing too. Like, I love Evander. I think he's a good player, but let's be honest, man. Most people don't know who he is. Like, outside of MLS, people don't know Evander, and I don't think he's going to really do it for you. That's why that they need some more names to really get people interested, and then maybe Evander becomes a name, kind of like Cucho was with Columbus, where people do know Cucho.
Well, you're not going to the regular audience, right? You're not trying to get the non-MLS fan at this point, right? Because you have to get it through a paywall. So I'm just saying to satisfy the MLS casual, put Evander's games on, put Miguel Zamiron's games on, like make these guys the superstars of the league.
Isn't already the MLS casual subscribed to MLS? I mean, they're probably already subscribed to MLS. The problem is that like that.
But how do you get an NYCFC fan to watch Sunday Night Soccer when it's Portland, Houston?
No, I understand you want to get more people who subscribe to watch games, but what needs to be done is there need to be more subscribers in general.
Yeah.
There's not enough subscribe. They're not. I mean, you could have 1 million subscribers that all watch one game. It's still not enough. Like they need to expand, and that just hasn't happened. And the problem is that the league has sold Messi so hard that essentially, and keep in mind, I like Messi. Messi's my favorite player of all time. Don't support a team, by the way, but Messi's my guy. Barca till I die. They have put their eggs all in that basket and essentially said Messi, 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 Messi. And it kind of devalues everything else. It's like, hey, if Messi isn't playing, then it's not even worth watching. Messi this, Messi that. And like me and you've talked about that. They've sold Messi so much. Like Luis Suarez has been balling out this year. And they're talking more about Messi being injured than how good Suarez is playing.
That one's tough, dude, because we're talking about like the biggest player in the world. Even FIFA knows that Inter Miami Messi needs to be in the FIFA World Cup. Like Messi is such a phenomenon that I would want them to put all the eggs in the basket. But I think the problem is, look at your MLS MVPs last year. Look at the nominees, right? Cucho left, Puig is injured. Like how do you keep guys in this league enough to be stars? So Messi's obviously a star. Suarez is obviously a star. Benteke is obviously a star. But how do you put Benteke on Sunday Night Soccer when they can't win a game? So it's tough. Like in my opinion, this league is set up to be a selling league. So it's tough to bring in an American fan to like the superstars because the superstars always leave. With Cucho Hernandez leaving MLS, honestly, for the price point he did, I almost feel like MLS or Apple should have stepped in and been like, hey, hold on. Like, this is one of our stars. Like, we're going to just give him away for some peanuts. I mean, yes, 16 million is a nice amount, but I think he's more valuable to MLS than he was to Betis for that type of money. And I know you can't do anything, but it's just a weird kind of, because every single American sport's at the pinnacle, right? So fans can fall in love with, Ohtani because they know he's not going to go to the Japanese league next year, right? So it's just, you can't really do that here. So my whole thing is, might as well display the superstars other than Messi so much before they leave, right? Like Evander right now, like I was saying earlier.
Well, and this is a good segue to point this out. The problem is that even if you promote them, no person who's not already watching MLS is going to watch it because Cucho Hernandez. No person who's not watching MLS already is going to watch it because of Evander. It's just not going to happen, right? But there is an interesting segue or path to get a new viewer. And that's like Diego Luna, dude. Diego Luna is becoming like a phenomenon. Like people are talking about how good he's been with the USMNT and he plays in MLS, and they should really lean into that.
Yeah, no, I agree. But this is kind of the same thing with DC. How do you put RSL on Sunday Night Soccer? But they put Houston on twice, so it doesn't really matter. But let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. Let me seriously ask you this. If a fan saw Jack Grealish, an American fan saw Jack Grealish, would they watch a game because of Jack Grealish?
An American fan?
Yeah, like American football fan. You know how you said, Evander's not bringing, Cucho Hernandez is not bringing the fan to watch MLS games. Will Jack Grealish?
I think it depends on where he plays, honestly.
Would Rodri, the Ballon d'Or winner?
Yeah, probably.
You really think so? You really think that an American soccer, or not football, sorry, like American football, like NFL football, would watch a soccer game in the United States because Rodri's playing?
Well, not an NFL fan that doesn't watch soccer at all, but there are millions and millions and millions of soccer fans in the United States that don't watch MLS, that watch the Premier League, that watch the Liga, that watch Serie A, that watch Liga MX, that don't, or the USMNT, that don't watch MLS. There's probably, and I'm just rough estimating, right? There's probably 50 million soccer fans in the United States that watch soccer. Okay, there's like 350 million people in the whole country. So about 50 million that watch soccer. I would say realistically, realistically, there's probably, and I'm talking about watching on television between all games, probably like maybe if we're lucky, close to 1 million uh, MLS fans that watch games on TV. So we're talking like 2% of the fans here. If you get some of these guys, I mean, Fabi, even if you got 10% of that 50 million, 5 million is not bad. That's a huge improvement. You get Jack Grealish, you get Mbappe, you get someone like that who comes here. Yeah, you don't think if Mbappe came to MLS that more people would be interested in watching MLS?
I think Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo are on a different level. Like that is god tier in terms of marketing.
Holland, I think him too.
I don't think so, man. I don't think Holland would move the needle for
I
an
think
NFL
Vinny. I think if Vinicius Jr. came here, I think people would be like, "Wow, that's crazy." I do think
fan.
that they'd
Because he's a little saucy, right? Like he has a little flair
personality.
in his
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
game, and he's spicy, So I personally think that we need a diva. We need a
A
Zlatan.
villain. We need a
Yeah,
villain, dude.
we need a villain. So yeah,
Zlatan.
I think Evander has a little that in him, to be honest with you.
But
So
no, he's good. But it's just like, okay, I'll say this: signing a player like Evander in either in Liga MX or the Eredivisie, if he played for like an Ajax, a PSV, or a Club America or a Monterrey, that would work because those clubs are established. They have a loyal following. They have huge fan bases, right? Because they have like almost 100 years of footballing history. MLS is just so young that it's not there yet. Like there's just like Evander's not going to move the needle to get people to watch.
let me ask you this: you watch college basketball and college football, right?
Yeah.
Who's the best player in college football right now?
I thought it was Ashton Genty.
Okay. Besides the guys going in the draft, who are the best? Who's the best player in college football right now?
It'll probably be Arch Manning.
Okay, that one's tough. Okay, give me another one because he's a Manning. Because so
Yeah.
he's the
Well, in
blood.
basketball, it's Cooper Flag, but it's different college basketball because they have new people come. They have like a freshman come in every year.
And
But what,
MLS does too. So
yeah, but
how do
it's
you know that's the best player in college basketball? And how do you market that? Because you know he's going to leave in 4 years. They honestly need to take a second division or a college approach to marketing these guys. Like Evander might leave for a bigger club, just like Cucho Hernandez did. Like envision these guys leaving in a draft. So make the most out of what you can in the next 4 years. So I think they should take that approach personally to market these guys to Americans. Yes, maybe we're not the best league in the world, but you could see Archie Manning play here before you get to see him in the big leagues. So like you were saying with Diego Luna might hit the big leagues. He might go to the EPL. So they should be marketing him. But they've done that with McGlynn too, with Houston. So it's just
whoa,
weird.
whoa, 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 whoa. You did not just compare McGlynn to Diego Luna. But Fabi, think about this. There are so many more USMNT fans than MLS fans. There are. There are more USMNT fans than
And
MLS fans by
personally,
far.
I don't think you can get them. They
No,
already
you
MLS.
can. No, you can. But here's the problem though. Right now, most USMNT, because I'm friends with a lot of these guys, right? A lot of these USMNT fans don't want anything to do with MLS because there's no quality USMNT player that is playing in MLS. They don't have any need for it. Now Diego Luna plays in MLS. He's been playing well. I even had a friend say, my buddy Adam, say that he thinks that Diego Luna is better than Malik Tillman, who's playing at PSV in a better league. He said that Diego Luna did more in a USMNT kit in like 4 appearances than Malik Tillman has done in like 20 appearances. So, I mean, I know Tack and Pete from 11 Yanks, they watch Diego Luna because they want to see what he can do and keep an eye on him and see like how he develops. And because he's only 21 years old, like I think there is a potential, way to get some of these USMNT fans to care a little bit MLS, but they're not going to watch if there's no MLS players on the USMNT. Why would they watch it? They're going to watch all the European teams.
Look, I'm gonna be real honest with you, and I think wasting your money and effort into making USMNT fans into MLS fans is not the right move at this moment because it's just not. They're not gonna value it, especially with Pochettino coming in, Berhalter out.
Well, who are you getting then? Who are the fans who are the fans right now that are not watching MLS that you think we can get? Who
I
like soccer?
I I seriously think you can get the guys who don't like soccer easier than the USMNT guys. I
I don't
think
know, man. I
I
don't
think
know.
if you put like I was saying earlier, if you put Messi on prime time and you make it free and accessible to everybody, I think people are tuning in for Messi. And I think those numbers are just as good as the USMNT people, because the USMNT people are only going to watch to hate on it. They're only going to rag on it. They're only going to say negative things about the league, and you don't want that. What you want is you want a person that normally watches the Chiefs and then he watches Messi play Sporting Kansas City, and then he's like, wait, we have this guy named Dejan Joveljic, and he scored 2 goals against Miami. Like, who is this guy?
But do you think? But dude, do you think people like? I just don't see that. I just don't think that's going to happen yet. I don't think that people are going to like really think about it like that. I think that it's going to. There needs to be more star power here to get like it can't just be Messi. It's got to be more, dude. They got to get Griezmann. They got to get. They're going to have to get a big name prime player to come here at a younger age. Like I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but trying to get Mbappe here to come at 28 or 29, that's what's really going to happen to have like a seismic shift in like the perception of MLS. Messi at 37, Messi at 35 isn't bad because he's the best player ever, right? But getting that guy to come here at 28 or 29 is what really is going to change the league in a different way, because there's still people skeptical about it, man. So
But like,
people don't think it's as good as we think it is, which I think it's good. You know, you think it's good,
I don't
but
think I don't think the actual soccer being played is the biggest thing. Personally, I think look at Travis Hunter. The guy plays offense and defense. People don't care about the quality of football. In NFL, he's not going to be able to do that. People don't really care about what quality they're watching. They want to be entertained. So if you can get entertaining pieces to be the limelight in the game, I think you can bypass not being the best league in the world, personally. And that's if you get not soccer fans to watch. And I think they could, just how the WNBA or women's basketball got the non-basketball fan to watch Caitlin Clark.
But how will they do this though? Because like I said, they've got Messi, the biggest star you could possibly have. They're giving it out for free, and the numbers still seem pretty bad. There's even rumors that they're going to bail out in 2 years, like 2027. After that season, MLS and Apple are going to separate. I've heard that from numerous people. I don't know if that's going to happen officially, but I'm sure you've heard it too. A lot of people have heard that they're going to separate early before the 10 years is up.
I would actually bank on them separating early, because just the way the dollar amount is, inflation and stuff, and I think they would restructure. I don't think they're going to go 10 years, because I think deals are just going crazy high in terms of overall dollars, and this deal it actually is not the best for MLS if you really think of it going all the 10 years. So I think MLS might even think about pulling out themselves. But
And
no,
keep in mind too, Fabi, keep in mind, I have to put this out. MLS is paying their own production costs. So they're probably paying like $100 million a year. If you want to be more conservative, we'll say 75 million a year to produce all their matches all season long. So take that away. So MLS is really only making about 175 million a year for all 30 teams to split. So it's not even the 250 we're talking about. It's actually less than that.
yeah, yeah, no, you're totally right. And then that sounds like a steal if you're Apple TV, and it almost like seems like too much of a steal that you don't have to invest in it, because it's gonna pay off no matter what, because that you have Messi, right? So, personally, yeah, I would see them breaking the contract even if it's going well. I truly think that they're gonna restructure it anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, if college football does well, if college basketball does well, and it's not the best quality of that sport, I don't think you need to have the best quality. I really don't. I think you can truly make an entertaining game and entertaining superstars where you literally just can show them off. And then the average person's not going to know if Lucho Acosta has ever played at PSG, because they don't even know if PSG exists, you know?
I just think that they're one of the things I want to talk about in this episode was the promotion versus production. We talked about production being better. We all agree the camera angles, the
Yeah.
quality, all looks good. A couple things like the score bug could have the logos, I think, just to see the team instead of just the generic ass colors of each team. But the promotion has not been good, and it just seems like it's inevitable that they're going to split at some point. And MLS. I told my buddy Vince this a couple weeks ago. I think what would be cool, Bobby, is for MLS to go to YouTube TV and say, look, because MLS has already produced their games. Apple's not doing anything except letting their games be on their platform. That's all they're doing. If I was MLS, I'd be like, go to Apple, go to YouTube TV. If this splits, like, hey, listen, can we do like a 2-year deal? Try it out. We already produce all of our games. We have a studio now. We just need a platform to put it on. Put it on YouTube TV, and YouTube TV has like 80, 90 million subscribers. So you just almost tripled the amount of people that could watch your games. And it's already, even if it's its own app like League Pass or something, Fabi, there people are on YouTube TV. They don't have to go to an app or a streaming service to do it. They're already on one, and they can just flip to the game, and it's like they're watching on regular TV if they put it on YouTube TV. So that's like a proposal. I think I might do a video on that later to talk more about that. But there are alternatives. Like, I honestly think that MLS would be fine if they pulled out of this. Hell, even ESPN and maybe Fox would want to get back into it and pay them more, because Messi, he'll be here for probably another 3 years, like the rest of this year, 26 and probably 27. So there's going to be people interested in the league. It's like they signed this deal at a really bad time. I think MLS was desperate, and they didn't have Messi at the time. Nobody else was really offering much for them. Their numbers weren't that good. And I think that they just kind of had to take whatever deal they could for the highest number at the time.
Yeah, and it was a monumental deal at the time. I think once 6 months later passed, and then they signed Messi, and it was like, So I think it was, man, if they found out earlier, they would be completely different. Or if they signed Messi earlier, it would have been completely different. But that's unfortunate. I mean, that's life, right? That's literally a young league having to work around things that other leagues don't have to worry about. Like the NBA doesn't have to worry about LeBron leaving for the Philippines league. Like it's not a
They
thing.
don't?
No, they don't. They don't. So the Shanghai Sharks aren't bidding for LeBron James, and you have to worry about your numbers before he leaves. It's a different animal. And I don't know, Will. We talked about it a little bit, but I still think those US-17 fans are not going to come watch MLS unless Pulisic comes at 25 or like 28, right?
I think that's going to happen next year. So we will see. But Favi, before I let you go, want everybody to comment down below. Do you think the Apple TV deal is aging well or aging poorly? What would you guys change about the Apple TV deal? And is it too late? Let us know in the comment section down below.
We talked a little bit about this before we got on, but like maybe getting a personality like Alexi Lalas.
Oh yeah. Okay, real quick. Yeah, go ahead about that. Yes, yeah. the MLS shows. Go ahead.
Like maybe adding someone with a lively personality like a Fernando Fiore or Alexi Lalas. And what truly makes a lot of those World Cup kind of broadcasts monumental and iconic are those characters. I mean, I remember Alexi and Fernando Fiore going off on each other in front of the whole world because they didn't agree on a take. I like the guys. I think the guys who are on MLS are good. I just think they need someone extra to give that little oomph. Maybe not a former player like Fernando Fiore, or at this point, I think Alexi Lalas' broadcasting career is a little bigger than his player career. So I want to say Alexi Lalas too, So personally,
Alexi, I did not say that, by the way.
No, but seriously, I mean, they need to add some spice. Shoot, put Ronaldo on there. I don't know. I want someone.
They would never do that, but yes, they need to. They had all these corporate, boring guys. No disrespect to any of the guys on there. Like, I'm not saying they're bad people. They're just boring, man. They're boring. There's no personality. It's very cookie cutter.
Well, you need that too, but you also need one that is very outspoken. A lot of broadcasts that come to mind to me for like Latin or like Latino or Hispanic kind of broadcast is they're all personalities. And the way one show that I'm really accustomed to is called Jorge Ramos y su banda is one Uruguayan with 5 other Mexican pundits. And the one guy is the calm and collected one, while the other 5 are the crazy ones. And that works very well because it's just interesting. It's like it's a different take. They just need more spice on those shows. And it's like, chicken and rice is great, but maybe add some sriracha, maybe add some taco seasoning,
Yeah, it's very milk toast. Very, very milk toast right now. Yeah, but I agree with that. They need to do more. They need to have a better panel. The onside is like 2 years late, by the way. Should have
Yeah.
happened a year or two ago. But that's how MLS is, man. Day late, dollar short. Normally, that's the motto. But before I let you go, Favi, tell the fine folks where they can find you out on social media. Where can they read your next article at?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can find me at Fabian Rankle or on Twitter, or I am Fabian Rankle on Threads. I'm trying to make that a thing still. So if you have a thread, come thread up me. I don't know how to do it, but
Come sew it with me.
yeah, come sew it with me. And you can find my next article on SBI Soccer.
Favi, appreciate it, my friend. Let us know what you think down below. Till next time, guys, I will see you all soon.